Hello everyone, this is Feeks and welcome to my nail PvP map. So I already have a video explaining like how this goes over and like what's the objective of it and everything. But I might as well just go through it again just that way you guys don't have to go back and watch it. So basically this is a 8v8 PvP map. It was created by a guy named Rixiot, I think his name was, on the PC. I think it was over a year ago, and I really liked the idea of it, and I wanted to bring it over to the Xbox, so I started working on it. Like the day creative came out, I started working on it. So, first things first, all 8 players will spawn here, and the game will not start until all 8 players are like in the game and readied up. So this button's what starts it. So, if you go back here, every person that spawns into a world on the Xbox version starts off with a map. So each person needs to toss in their map right here, and the game will only work until all 8 of these lights are off. So once those are off, the players can push this button and begin the game. So the first 4 people that need to go in first are gonna be the defenders. So they go into this little area right here, and once they're all ready and everything, they push this button. These gates will come up, and then a second later, these pistons will retract and have them fall down here. Let me put that back. And then they'll walk out this way. And then here's the first little like area. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have any chest or anything right here. Probably not. But yeah, they go this way and then they can do pretty much whatever they want. They want to try and make it really difficult for the other guys, the attackers, to make it through this forest here. So they might want to start ripping out torches or laying down some TNT if I give it to them. And I might have a few hidden chests here and there. They might want to break those. But they only have, I think, about 5 minutes. It's going to be anywhere from like a minute to 5 minutes to get through the forest and set up in their castle. So like this is a spot right here. There's going to be a bunch of chests in there. Here's some, I think this is just going to be for decoration. I don't really see much of a purpose for that. But over here's a good spot that you're going to want to take out. This is going to have a bunch of TNT and lava and stuff like that. So they might want to take that. And then here's the big one. They want to blow up this bridge. Like if they don't do anything, they're gonna want to take out this bridge. That way they can't just run across. But basically what they want to do is get set up and defend these 4 tiers. There's gonna be 4 tiers of walls. Right here, this is the first one. I haven't worked on the second one yet. Then there's gonna be 2 more, and then at the end of the 4th one, there's going to be a pedestal. It might be a little encased or something like that, but there's gonna be like a little pedestal that has a sponge or some sort of item. I'm probably going to do a sponge because that's what Rixiot had in his map. So basically all they want to do is just keep the opposing team from destroying the sponge right here. If they can do that for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, however long I set the game to be, then they win. But if the attackers make it through here and destroy the sponge, then they win. So that's pretty much all they're really trying to do, and they're just trying to keep the attackers out. So while they're getting set up and like, I don't know, taking out the bridge, taking out those chests and everything, the attackers are going to be waiting here for these fences to go down. And as soon as the fence go down, they're able to go run in here, push the button, and then it will reset the cycle. It'll do the same thing. It'll drop them down into here. This thing's going to be closed now. See the pistons right there? It'll close this, and then this side will open. So let me swing around over there. They'll come out this side right here, and this is where all the attackers' gear is going to be. There's going to be TNT, armor, arrows, bows, all that stuff to help them get through the wall and destroy the sponge. So that's where all their stuff's going to be. This little thing's going to come down. I have this set up right here so that way the attackers can't just run over, or defenders can't just run over here and just start breaking out the chest and make all their items despawn or something. Because that would be kind of a cheap thing to do. But I guess they could still jump up there. But basically, yeah, they just want to go through here. Once they're the attackers, they'll run through here. They'll venture through all this. This is probably going to be really dark and everything. I might make it a little darker. Like, it's not all that dark right now, because I want mobs to be able to spawn in and make things a little bit more difficult. There's only a few spots that mobs can spawn in as it is, like right here. I have this little tomb thing right here, which isn't in the Rixiot's version on the PC. So basically what's in here is just a bunch of like, it's gonna be like a little labyrinth kind of thing. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but it's gonna be like a little labyrinth, and there's gonna be hidden chests everywhere. I have no clue what that was. But then like if you look in the chest and everything, it's gonna be worth it. The only real downfall to it is there's gonna be tons of mobs in here because they're not really gonna be able to spawn anywhere else. So there's gonna be tons of mobs in there, and then yeah, once they get through here, they're just gonna try and scavenge what they can, what they didn't. They might want to dig like a tunnel, like go under the ground here, and like maybe like have a little tunnel to breach through and try and dig through. If they try to dig through the wall right here, there's gravel. Here, I'll just go over to this one. There's gravel in it, two sides, and then in between the gravel, there's cobwebs. So that it's, even if they do manage to break through, because they're not going to get a pickaxe, otherwise they could just tunnel through everything. So even if they do take the time to sit there and break through this block right here, they're going to have to break through the dirt, and then they're going to have to worry about all this cobwebs and stuff. It's going to make everything a lot more difficult. And then I'm going to have other little viable options that I didn't see in the PC version of this game. Is like I have this little sewer system thing right here. So they can actually come through here, and this almost takes them directly behind the first wall. So that way they could completely go past the first wall, break through this block, and then they could tunnel up, and they'd be right into, yeah, they'd be ready for the second one. So they could do something like that. It's just I'm trying to give them more options and stuff like that, so that way it's not just a straight head-on battle. They can have different options and go about it more strategically. Something that the attackers have is these little things right here. There's little pistons that retract, so that way they can drop lava, and then it makes it so this entrance here is covered. And then they also have these little sniper tower things right here, so that way they can, oops, they can easily shoot, and it's going to be extremely difficult for anyone to take them out from here. Then I think I have another tier. No wait, no, it's two on top of each other. It's one down here. This one's a little bit hard to shoot out of. But then there's one more up here, which is pretty easy to shoot out and hard to get shot at. And then this thing right here is going to be an elephant cannon. At least I think that's what they referred to it as. It's pretty much just a TNT cannon. And they can sit there and load it. There's going to be a bunch of TNT and like chests up here, and they can load it and try and shoot the players that are coming. But when a player does die, it's not like game out. It's not, they can get right back into the game. So every player that dies, they'll spawn back here in the spawning area. And this is where it's going to have to be worked off the honor system. If a attacker dies, they're going to have to go down, this thing's going to open up once both the buttons are pressed. Or like once the game's actually started. The attackers will just go through here, and then they can walk right out and then get all their chests and everything, and then head right back into the action. If a defender dies, they have to go through this one. Looks like I broke the sign. I had a sign above here. But they'll fall down this hole. There's some speed 2 potions in here, and then they just run straight back to the back of the castle. And this is why it's gonna have to work off the honor system. If a attacker's definitely gonna be able, or yeah, an attacker's definitely gonna be able to get into this pathway if they really wanted to. So they're just gonna, you just have to like play with people that you trust and aren't gonna cheat. Because they could, attack could just go all the way right here, and this is going to lead pretty much to the very back of the castle. So they could just, an attacker could just go all the way through here and then pop out and destroy the sponge. So that's the only real downfall to it. I can't really make a player like join a team and then spawn in certain areas depending on what team they joined. I'm not even sure, I'm sure you can do that with the PC with the command blocks and everything now. But some changes and problems with this is I sort of just saw like a few gameplays of it, and then I just went ahead and tried to build it based off the concept. So I did make this thing a lot larger than it should have been. Like this forest area, I think the forest area is about the right size. This area might be a little bit bigger, and this is where everything gets way out of hand. This thing is probably twice as large as it needs to be right here. So this bridge should be cut in half. and then the walls are way larger than they should have been. They should be. So like this little tier right here should probably be like maybe where this wall is right here should just be the first wall, and then it sort of branches off into the second one. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect the gameplay because I made them so much larger. I'm not sure if it's going to make it easier for the attackers or harder. If it's going to make the game last longer or what. I have no idea. So that's why I'm going to need, once I get this game completely built and finished, I'm going to need to do quite a bit of testing to get like the timing worked out and everything for it. But another problem is since mobs do not spawn on bedrock anymore, which originally they did, so I was gonna have to go through and half slab the entire area, which I did already begin doing. I got like that much of it. I had everything marked out of how far I needed to go in each area, so I was going to mark out like just that way all the mobs weren't spawning down there, and there would be no hostile mobs up here. But now the problem is, since mobs cannot spawn on bedrock, every single mob in the game can spawn up here. So there's just a tremendous amount of mobs that spawn like in those tunnel things. Yeah, like you can already see. There's just tons of mobs everywhere. So I don't know how that's gonna affect it. I might need to make a mob spawning chamber like underneath here. Just like a little cell so that way a bunch of mobs can spawn in there and it won't really affect the game too much. And then there's a few other problems like this. Like I want to have water be able, like where players can place water, but if they break the water like this, they could essentially just go down there. And then like if they fall off the edge here, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me start that over. I'm not sure if I'm going to have feather falling shoes or not. But if I did make it so this little water canal kind of thing gets broken, they could essentially just fall into the water and survive. And if they have the blocks, they could pillar back up, which I really don't want. I wish I could make that all void. And now that the end is out, I kind of wish I would have made it so it forces the players to spawn into the end, and then they would have to worry about the void. Because I could make this a lot more accurate then. Because there is ways you can survive. And now I think as it is, I think the only way you can survive is if you have feather falling 4. I think at the other feather falling tier you're gonna die. So I might be able to just make it so a player can have feather falling 3 boots or whatever. And then this thing right here, the forest. I'm gonna have to redo this entire forest more than likely, because right now I built this way before jungle trees were in the game or anything. So basically all I did was just kept on stacking up oak trees and then putting vines and stuff on them so that way they'd go down. But the problem with that now is oak leaves cause a lot more lag than jungle leaves. So and since the Xbox version's already extremely laggy on multiplayer, especially with 8 people, let alone like 3, this is just gonna lag everyone out. So I think I'm gonna have to burn down the entire forest and just regrow a bunch of jungle trees. Which is okay because jungle trees they're still transparent, but I think they're a little bit more, they don't like let out as much light as oak trees. I could be wrong, I don't know. They just seem thicker, so it might make this pathway a little bit more dark and a little bit more dangerous for the attackers and defenders. Because I don't want them to just have a complete easy pathway through here either. But yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to rework out. I'm not too sure. I might have to invite like 8 people into my map and see how laggy it is with the jungle or the oak. And if it's still extremely laggy, I'm gonna have to burn it all down and just do them with the jungle. But I think that covered everything there. That's pretty much the whole game mode in a nutshell. You just have 2 teams of 4, and then there's attackers and defenders. But yeah, the whole point of this series isn't just to sit there and talk like that. This is probably going to be the most talkiest episode out of all of them. Just because I want to explain it. So basically what I really want to do in this series right here is just get this thing finished. I want to try and keep it like maybe around 5 episodes at the most. It might be a little longer, it might be a little shorter, I don't know. But I want to go through and I want to build the castle maybe an episode, then go through and finish up the redstone. I'm definitely going to finish that off probably finish all the redstone off camera because that can go really quick if I'm not recording or anything. And I might do the castle part maybe a few episodes, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. Just like I'll do the walls and then like I'll do the interior because I still want to go through and redesign this. Like this is supposed to be a little brewing center so that we can brew like fire resistant potions and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to work out a few different things here and there, especially like buckets. I really don't want people to have buckets because then once they get a bucket, like if I have a bucket of lava up here or something, then they can just go down here and get a bucket of water and just hop down there. I don't know why they would do that. Like I guess they could go underneath the map and then just go all the way along the back. I don't know. They could even just sit there and just bridge across this like that. I don't know. There's some problems that I'm gonna have to work out and everything. But I feel like I'm talking a little too much right here, so I do want to do at least something. So I might work out either the spawn area or maybe I'll finish up the castle really fast. So I'm gonna sit there and see what I work out, and then I'll bring you guys back so that way I'm not just talking. Alright guys, so here we are about an hour later or so, and pretty much all I've really done is just start working out this second wall here. I tried getting the staircases worked out a little bit so that way it would be at least a little bit fluid. So yeah, like I have this staircase right here so that way you can just continuously run up. It might be a little quicker. Or you go over here and it would take you to the center, or somewhat center, right here. And then I added these little bridges to get down to like from wall to walls, just so that way you don't have to go all the way down and then come back. What I'm thinking about doing, I also added in like this third wall right here. What I'm thinking about doing for this one is I might not make it so tall because I think I have it 7 blocks above this one. And I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think like if I do, that would be the last one that gets raised that high. I think like if for the 4th wall, I might do like I might even have it just the same level. But I cut the width in half in between the walls, so this one's only 7 blocks wide, as opposed to this 14 blocks wide. So now I still have to figure out what I'm gonna put here. I have to fill it all in and everything, and then ooh, what's this? Oh, this is where I dug out of. And then I have this over here. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna fill in here. I might just put in some vegetation and stuff like that. Nothing really all that fancy. Then I still gotta work out like detail, like all this like stone brick. Like it seems extremely like plain right now. That's because it's all one material. I just want to get the structure of it worked out, like how the staircases are gonna flow and everything. And then I'll go through and I'll start working in some detail, switch up the blocks and materials a little bit, and just different stuff like that. Something else I added in these little chambers down here so that way mobs could spawn in. See, there's a bunch of mobs in here already. I just added them so far. I'm gonna add in a few more. I don't want to add too many to where it like really decreases the mob cap, or like it puts all the mobs in there. But when I was running through these tunnels back here, I added in some lights and stuff like that just to get the mobs to decrease that were in here, because these things were just packed full of like creepers and zombies and everything. It would have just been impossible to come back through here, especially with the little bit of armor and weapons I'm gonna be giving the attackers. So yeah, that's there. And then I think that's all I really worked out. I added this little thing here instead of just being a checkered. I switched it to this little pattern thing. I like that a lot more. The checkers were just really weird and kind of dumb. But yeah, I think that's all I've really added. It's just a few little details here and there. This thing was the big part. Just adding this in, I forgot how long it took to... Ooh, did those die? It looks like it. I forgot how long it took to fill in all this stuff. It probably took me like maybe, I don't know, probably 10 minutes just to fill in this grass area alone. Then this thing took me about 5 minutes to put up these walls. It just takes forever. No, probably not. I'm probably exaggerating quite a bit, but it took a long time. A lot longer than I was expecting. But I think that's all I'm gonna do for today. It's just small little detail work. I spent most of it talking anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoy what I have so far. It's getting you excited for when this thing comes out. And if you guys do want to like come on here and help me or whatever, just let me know and I can send you over like a friend request or an invite or whatever, and we can get some stuff worked out. Um, like I'm kind of nervous of letting people on here and helping me because there might be like I don't know. I don't want to feel bad if someone wants to put in their input and I think it's like bad or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be a jerk, but oh well. So I guess that's gonna do it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like any ideas or anything, if like things you should change, or I should change, I mean. And just any ideas that you have. But that's gonna do it. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching.